Hi folks, Dan and Bob here, back in Teybidee Park, and today I'm going to be working on Tyrannosaurus Lodge. You got a preview of this a little bit earlier when we were working on Triceratops Valley, and now I'm going to trick out the viewing area for the Tyrannosaurus exhibit. You also saw a path leading to this bit, which is a secondary viewpoint into the Tyrannosaurus habitat. It's on the trail that runs around Triceratops Valley. So a sheltered area looking into the habitat along its lengthway. The habitat, of course, itself is not finished, but this area I did put vegetation in, and you can see the Tyrannosaur out there. We'll go up, and you see this extension of the valley. This extension and an extension on the other side were things I had to do when I put the second Tyrannosaur in, and it wanted a lot more space. So I had to give it more. And there's our Tyrannosaur contemplating his blood pumpkin, or perhaps that's her blood pumpkin. So we're into the speed build here. You can see I laid out the overall shape of the building, and then went into setting the floors up. There's going to be an upper and lower gallery. Little jump ahead, again placing the buildings. They were a little bit cranky with me about wanting to be oriented correctly and sit on the right line. There's a thing where the walls will sometimes want to be one side or other of the boundary of those grid squares, and sometimes it's hard for me to see which side they're sitting on until I get in close. So there's a general stone texture, and this is echoing the Triceratops Valley building, and I decided to expand the floors just a little bit in each direction to provide that trim band around the building, which I thought gave it a little bit of a breakup in the mass of small rocks that make up that particular style of wall. So it's not quite so overwhelming. I'm setting up a little courtyard on the Tyrannosaurus side of the bridge there before the viewing building proper. And having roughed the building out, I wanted to rough the roof out, as I often do, to get a sense of the mass of the thing as a whole and what it might look like. A little bit of adjustment of the habitat barriers so that it goes right along with the building itself. And we don't want our Tyrannosaurs plucking guests out of the building, so I decided I would do a rock standoff to keep the animals from getting too close to the building, and yet let them get pretty close so that guests have Tyrannosaur up close and personal and in your face kind of effect. The lower part of the view building will have glassed-in windows to mostly keep the guests from throwing things out, but the upper will be open air, so people will still be able to hear and smell the Tyrannosaur. So I spent quite a bit of time messing with rocks to enclose this area. This video is concentrating on the building and the rock aspect of this habitat area, and in the next one I will be working on finishing up the foliage and also on the care area. I want to build a significant section of protected contact area and isolation area for the Tyrannosaurus, something akin to what you see in major zoos for elephants, so they can get to the animals. And here's the Tyrannosaur. I decided for leather hide. This is pretty much my favorite skin. I like the colors on Bromelb, but the feathering is somewhat problematic for me for a large tyrannosaur. There's really no evidence of a full-grown tyrannosaur having such things. With the tyrannosaur in, do the usual thing of checking for its the area it can traverse and whether it can get out. I wanted this elevated rock area so that the tyrant can get a look out over the park, and guests may be able to see them up there, particularly if they go up there and broadcast. So yeah, there's the check, make sure it's properly contained, and I got to move it down the other end because the exhibit's so big that the traversable areas stuff doesn't take it far enough down. You can see I did this actually before I put in the vegetation in that secondary viewing area. And to keep it happy, give it some food so we can get back to the building, but still have the Tyrannosaur around for scale. So here's a little bit of a tour of the finished building. You come across the bridge into this sheltered area, and you can see there's a gift shop and a coffee shop straight ahead. Off to the left there is the path around Triceratops Valley, and off to the right there is a implied elevator for our handicapped guests to get up to the 2 levels. And there's the observation tower for staff with the do not enter sign on the door. So we can go up the stairs. The point of view camera is somewhat problematic on following this handily. And see a Tyrannosaur out in the exhibit through the glass. There are binoculars there to make this an attraction for guests to come. A little bit of seating area, but it's mostly empty area up here because we don't have the props, the can props to do that. The guests can walk up this tight stairway. I really don't want to maneuver the camera, so we'll go through the wall, ceiling actually. And the upper part is an echo, the same open space, but with the addition of a glassed-in example of a Tyrannosaurus skull, so guests can get a sense of just how big that head really is. Hello, Rex. Good. Oh, hello. Anyway, so that's pretty much it for this time. Tune in for the next scheduled one, which is more Tyrannosaurus habitat build. You all take care, be kind to each other, and this is Dino Bob signing off for now. Stop by again sometime. Bye.